Hello everybody, welcome back to Space Pickle Designs. Today is a very special episode. It's going to be episode 1 in hopefully a new series I'm going to call Bead N Brew. And this brew term covers all types of brews, so if you like coffee, if you like tea, if you like beer, if you like wine. This is just for us to sit down, talk about beads, have some hauls that I don't want to dedicate a whole video to, and we'll just discuss, the wins and the fails of the week in the beading, because I have fails just like everybody else, and so they're kind of fun to look at. But today my brew is going to be, this is going to be Celestial Tea brand in, let's see, Bengal Spice. I'll put a picture of it up there, and honestly, it's caffeine free because it's kind of late at night, and it's actually really, really good. So let's just take a sip. So as a backup too, I also have, let's see, pineapple bubbly. It's one of my favorites. And I have it in the Yeti here, just sitting off to the side. And honestly, I'm starting this because I'm a super huge fan of beverages in general. I always have something going on. And I have this huge extensive collection of Yetis. It's way out of hand. I have a whole cabinet full. I've actually gotten rid of some, but I have quite a few, and it's kind of a problem. I just brought one over, so I put rhinestones on them because you guys know me by now, but yeah, I put rhinestones on them. So this is just a mix of rhinestones that I made, and this is a company called Be Createful. And the Swarovski apocalypse, or whatever we want to call it, he who must not be named, when they stopped doing the rhinestones, actually, to cover a tumbler of this size would be like $200 anyways, and Swarovski rhinestones. So just getting the affordable ones from Be Createful, and I think Crystal Ninja has some too, but I really like the Be Createful Luxe line. They're just really way more sparkly. So I have a bunch of those that I carry around just because it just brightens my day. So let's see. First off, let's take a look at some of the jewelry that I made this week that I didn't really put a video on. I want to firstly mention a win. I got to take some of Neelay Patel's, who's from Silver Silk. I got to take some of their, let's see, their live stream classes, and those are on their channel. I'll link it down below, but they're on their channel, and holy moly, let's just take a look at these. So these are called the sea salt earrings. I bought the kit, so this is what the earrings look like made in the kit. I didn't have antique copper wire on hand, so I just used gold, just because these shells have gold electroplating on them. So I was like, it'll do, pig, it'll do. So I did that, and then I was like, you know what? We got those bead mixes from Softflex, and they had these two lampwork beads in there, and I was like, yes. I knew I had the peridot pipe chain, and I used, this is being extra, but I used Swarovski peridot shimmer bicones right there. So I mean, let's just take, I had to make it less classy, but that's just, I guess, how I roll. But I still really like them. This is definitely for your classy church, or going out on the beach, or just a nice romantic dinner. And these are just hey, I'm here to have fun, I'm here to party, let's get this party started. And this one is, it might be a little heavy because it's a glass component, but shoot, stretch my ears out because I'm definitely gonna wear these, or somebody that I know who loves lime green is probably gonna get these. But that's pretty much my favorite color, so can't really twist my arm to use it. But I thought that design was really cool, and there's so many different beads that you can use at the bottom of that. Another, I guess it's a win. I'm practicing some leather working because I know a lot of people like leather and faux suede and all that stuff. So this is a necklace that I made, and I'll actually, it was funny because my son will see these necklaces that I have, and he'll grab them towards him so that he can put them on too. So I'll have to put them on him, and I'll show you a picture of him wearing this necklace because he wanted to wear it for a second. I have a whole like bag of bead soup of like focal check focals or whatever, and they're just like the huge one-offs, like fire polish and all that stuff. So this is like a vintage bead. It's got some imperfections, but I still thought it was cool, and it would just the color scheme. I really like this one. It's more like fall, but I liked it. So that looks all right. I'm still, I mean, this knotting is not going to come apart or anything. I definitely glued it, but I just don't like how it looks that much. So I'll keep practicing. That one was a semi-win, I think, because I definitely will wear that piece myself because I really love those colors. This one was a fail. I just wanted to use big beads. It kind of reminds me of like Marge Simpson, if I'm being honest. And I would have been like, it's close to a choker size. I think that's what's getting me. I should have made it longer, but I ran out of beads. So I think I'm just gonna take these beads off and probably remake it. Let's see, another win this week would be the curated bead box. So the curated bead box, I got to make all this jewelry in here. I still need to pack it up for like free gifts or whatever, but I made a full little art bin storage container here full of necklaces, earrings, bracelets, you name it. And it was a lot of fun. It was like 5 hours long and that I spent doing those pieces, and it was just fun and relaxing, no pressure. I definitely think that I'm going to keep subscribing to that box just because I want it to be accessible to beginners. I'm definitely doing beginner stuff with that, but I still think you can make things look nice and professional even with less expensive materials. So it'll help me try out new techniques without wasting my good materials. And so next up is this. I haven't featured this on my channel yet, but one of my coworkers from my last space actually knew about Space Pickle Designs and crocheted me this pickle. So she's actually a pro. She put the googly eyes on there, so it's really cute. So I actually was unpacking and I found, I think it's gonna be a her because she's got pink heart antennas, but you can be a boy and have pink heart antennas, but I think she's gonna be a girl. And she even made like little bumpies. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like little bumps on there, so it's definitely a little pickle. I have a bigger one somewhere, I just don't know where it is, but she made me a small one and a big one, so I always keep that on my desk. What else did we do this week bead related? I definitely went to Silver Sparrow beads. That was cool. Silver Sparrow and White Rabbit, I think that's what, yeah. White Rabbit beads, they're like two completely different stores. So even though they're like right beside each other, like literally a quarter mile from each other, there definitely need to be both of them because White Rabbit beads has like the most amazing check beads I've ever seen in a store. And so I'm definitely going to hit that place back up. But I'm leaving for training this week for 5 weeks, but don't worry, I'm gonna pack up my lighting and everything, so I'll be able to make videos from my hotel room. However, I gotta be smart in how I pack, so let me know down in the comments like what you would like to see for the next 5 weeks. I have to be a little bit compact about it, but if you want more bead weaving, I can do that, or more wire work related, I can do that. I'll probably just pack like one color of wire though. That might be the easiest, so I could pack a bunch of different gauges in that same one wire, and then I would only have to bring the one color findings for it. Not that you can't mix metals, but So next up, I got some new pliers here, and this is hole punch pliers and some knotting pliers. Again, I wanted to see if it would make a difference in this. I know it's not really for leather. What I had been using were the, why can't I ever remember what these are called? Like needle nose pliers? I don't know what they're called. But the graduated, round nose pliers. And it seems to work I mean, I think it would probably work just the same because like the tips are pretty small, but these are kind of flimsy. I'm definitely going to invest in some better pliers soon because I'm really enjoying wire working. So I've noticed that, you know, like my tool set when I first bought it, like it was like 5 pair of pliers and they were like some crappy, I'm talking like this makes a beveled cut on both sides. I mean, they're crappy, but I use them for like that. I use those pliers for memory wire and stuff like that, stuff that I don't really care about them getting messed up on. But I have noticed that sometimes a little extra money on your tools is just, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to mention for the curated bead box, if any beginners are out there watching this, talking about curated bead box and like this is how you're learning how to bead, good for you. Honestly, it's a great, I think it's a great beginner box, but some of that, those head pins in there were the toughest, hardest head pins I have ever used in my life. And I'm thinking like, if I'm a beginner and I'm using these head pins and I'm trying to wrap these things, right? So keep in mind this, I did all of this. We'll just take a closer look at it. So every single one of these are wire wrapped with a head pin. So, and they were like this super strong, I don't know, like surgical steel, super hard head pins. And I was thinking to myself, like, if I'm a beginner and I'm watching all these videos of people like just wrapping no problem and like all this stuff, and then I'm trying to do it with the curated bead box or like any other affordable bead boxes, like findings and stuff, and I'm like getting carpal tunnel like through my spine trying to wrap these, like, do not be discouraged because just invest in some better head pins once you get the hang of kind of like the technique. Just invest in some better head pins. I think these are probably like 22 gauge, but they honestly felt like a 16 gauge craft wire like when I was wrapping them. So don't be discouraged. Get some lower gauge head pins or some better materials when it comes to that, and it will be easier, I promise. But otherwise, I mean, I really do think it's a good box. Just, I mean, especially for the price alone. Like, another thing I got in the mail. This is just you know, everybody's having their like New Year sales or whatever. Like, the big box craft stores always has like at least 40% off probably. And I got these spacer beads. I thought these were super cute. Let's see. Yeah, I thought those were super cute. I definitely don't want those colors together because it's hitting way too primary for me. Like, the color combo is like, yeah, actually nauseating to me, if I'm being honest. Like, it's just, like I said, it's just way too primary. But I think if you like separate all of these, let's just do that, actually. We can sort beads while we're talking. I think if you know, separate these, I think it could be really cool in a piece. But I honestly, like these, the colors are just together, just not my jam. It reminds me of like a kindergarten classroom or something. Like, no shade. I mean, if you like that, then that's, you know, do you. But it was just kind of too much for me. I also got, so this is, I've been on this kick though, because this is like, what, like it's not antiquing, but it's like patinaing with paint or whatever, like the patina technique or whatever. I have been obsessed with that look recently, and I don't even, not really sure why. So I actually picked up these, let me zoom you out a little bit. I picked up these. We'll test it on metals. If not, I can always use it on polymer clay, which hopefully I can get back into soon. I really did like polymer clay, but I swear it has a very high skill ceiling. And I'm just like, yo, the amount of time, cost, and the materials. And for a while there, during the pandemic, I don't know if any of you are like polymer clay artists, but they were having trouble like sourcing polymer clay. Like, the shelves were totally bare. I mean, obviously the world had other problems, you know, to focus on. I'm not saying, you know, oh my God, woe is me. But yeah, they were out of polymer clay for a while. So I kind of like haven't done it for a hot minute. So hopefully when I get back from training, I can start that up again. I don't know why. Yo, sometimes when people pack beads, man, a little insane. Okay. So what are your goals for 2023? Normally I'm not really a resolutionist. That's probably not even a word, but I normally don't have just like start of the year goals. I'm like a very hyper, like intense person. So I'm like constantly like reflecting, like what do I want to do? I need to do more. And so I kind of do that throughout the year. But there are definitely some things that I'd like to do this year, especially for this channel. Like I said, I want to have some more beginner related content. That was the whole reason why I wanted to start a channel anyway, because I wanted anybody who wanted to bead to get into it, because honestly, beading has been the one thing that has kept my attention for years now. I think I'm just like, I'm not obviously not a doctor or anything, but I'm pretty sure I have like ADD. And so I'm like a super creative person, but I'm in bursts. I have like these bursts of energy. When I have something that I'm really not interested in, it's like the most painful thing in the world for me to try to do. And like, unfortunately, you know, sometimes work, you're not really that interested in like your day job, you know, but like you have to do it. And like at times it has been so painful for me, but fortunately the job that I have now I think is going to be great, because I'm going to be an instructor and I have a love for teaching anyway. That's what I went to college for before I joined the military. I was going to be a music teacher, and then, you know, life happens or whatever, and I was going to switch to special education, and I really did have like a passion for that. I did like a little not internship, but we had to like shadow classrooms when I was in college. And like, you have to have, I'm just putting these in my bead box here, my spacers box, and you have to have like, this is no shade or anything, like you have to have an extreme amount of patience and like passion for your job when you're a special educator. And I knew one that was kind of like my mentor or whatever, and you know, I was asking them, I mean, I was in a poor state anyways, I was in West Virginia, and I was asking them like, you know, how much do you make? And they had been at this for a while, like they had master degree and all this stuff, and they were making like 35,000. Obviously this was back in 2008 or so, but I mean, you could live off that in West Virginia, but I mean, for the amount of work that you have to put in to be good and give, you know, those children like the time and effort that they deserve, 35,000, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. I think teachers are the most underpaid, underappreciated people. I mean, a second to parents, I guess, moms and dads. But honestly, like, we need to do better with our teachers, you know, like, fortunately, since I'll still be in the military, I'll still be getting my regular paycheck, but it just makes me feel for all the other educators out there that aren't so lucky to have, you know, a decent paycheck. It just boggles my mind, honestly. Okay, so we sorted those. I really want to do some tool magic. I'm probably going to do this off camera because I'm going to make a freaking mess. I can just feel it in my bones. But I'm going to do that before I leave, and which is like in a couple days. So another win for this week, I actually sold an item off Etsy, which was really nice. I really hope that they enjoy their package. When I get back, hopefully I can ramp up the shop a little bit more. I'm thinking of doing a craft show at the end of the year, but I want to I don't need the money, right? So I just want to raise the money for some cause, and I can't decide if I want to do it for like arts in school, like, you know, donate money for like local art programs in schools here in Colorado, or maybe West Virginia, because they're pretty poor there too, and that's where I'm from. But I can't decide. So I think it would be a cool little initiative that we could start. And plus, like, you get jewelry out of it, you know, so. Next up, I was organizing my stuff, and I found another bag of old jewelry that my mom had sent me. Somehow this got stashed away, and I didn't really go through it that much, but there's some really cool stuff in here. She has a good eye, so let's take a look. Some of this is broken, but I mean, that's like, it's all good. So this I thought was super cute. It looks like it was handmade. Looks like somebody did make this. There's definitely some, you know, old school crimps. And that's not actually how the clasp goes. I'm sure it's like, yeah, probably like, let's see, it's a little funky. I'm not sure. That's strange. Oh, that would be just a nightmare to try to put on like yourself. But anyway, that clasp is very interesting. Let's see what am I missing here? It's probably super simple. I'm just being dumb. But anyways, look at these. Are these like, sorry for the hair. It looks like somebody's hair. I know that's probably like gagging somebody right now because it's not my hair. It's some person's hair that made this necklace probably. But they look like, let me see, like, I'll zoom you in a little bit. It almost looks like little shell Hishi beads. We got some tarnished metal spacers, which I'm like, whatever. These look to be metal bugle beads that have tarnished as well. That's odd. That's pretty cool, actually. I know people are like, oh, tarnish, but like, I think my style is so funky that I honestly don't care about tarnish that much. There's some pieces. Now, let me go find this one piece. Let me see. I'm gonna put it over here. So this is a pattern. This is the Crown Jewel, I think it's what it's called, by Laura McCabe. And it's actually up on her YouTube channel now. It used to be just like a pattern in a book, but I used metal beads, like metal seed beads for this, like metal delicas. And these are silver delicas, and look how much is already tarnished. Let me grab my polishing cloth. I don't think it's gonna change though. So, you know, I spent, let me see. I spent like, this was probably one of my first ones that I did, but I mean, that was like a good 10 hours just on the one. And I mean, it's still dope. Like, come on, that pattern is so cool. Like, just wearing this on your chest, like you're balling, right? But yeah, it's already tarnished. So I think like I wouldn't even bother using like silver beads or anything. Okay, let's see. I don't think it's gonna, there's some coming off, but it's really tarnished, and I haven't worn this. It was just exposed to air. I didn't store it. I had it displayed because I loved it so much. Let me see. Yeah. So like, I mean, look at all that's coming off of it though, but it's still like, it looks a hot mess, honestly. But I mean, I'm still gonna wear the heck out of it because I'm proud of that, because it was like, this was one of the first like pretty intricate patterns I did. And honestly, just go buy her books because they are so detailed and awesome. The patterns are so easy to read. And once you have the type of materials, like you can make pretty much all of her patterns. Like she uses delicas, 15-0s, 11-0s. I rarely see an 8-0, but the main thing that's gonna get you are the crystal components. These are actually vintage dentelles, and you can't find them anymore. You can use it, I think you can use like a 16mm Rivoli, but it doesn't give you that same gem-like look. I'll actually grab one from the other room that I did with a Rivoli, and I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, so anyway, I brought a few over here to show you. My kid loves to play with these. But here's some that I did in other colors. And honestly, I just had the new line of Miyuki Delicas, and this was like a couple years ago, but I was just trying to do one in every color, and I used Rivolis on these, so as you can tell, you know, just it doesn't hit the same. I mean, they're pretty, and if you want something that takes up little to no space at all, like in your luggage or wherever you're beading, definitely try this pattern out. Like I said, she has a YouTube video on it now, so. But this is, I mean, these look way better, like the beads do, and these are not metallic beads. So those are like a Duracoat. This was, again, a gold-plated bead, and it started off as all the same color. I don't think I could get the, let me see, I don't think I could get the gold-plated in the Charlottes at the time. So now we've got this odd mixed metals, you know, crown jewel here. Again, using those vintage Swarovski. But, I mean, to me, it's like, it just signifies so much work that I put into it, and I'll still wear them regardless, because I really love that design. If I ever get it in me to finish the rest of this, I think there's like, I need to do like 4 more of these, and then make this. Let me just, I'll see if I can find a picture of it. If I find a picture, I'll just put it in an overlay, but the necklace is insane. I think even the work hours it said on there was like 120, 140 hours, but you know, when you get like obsessed with beading, that's not really much. Anyway, those are pretty cool. But yeah, the tarnish cloth didn't really do much for, sadly. Let's take the tarnish cloth to these. Let's see. I really like this necklace though. Honestly, I think it's just interesting. It's very simple. It's just simply strung. But there's some really cool, this is like a scarab bead. That's like ceramic or like clay. That looks like sodalite. There's some gemstones in here for sure. We've got a little carved bird. Super cool. I'm loving this drop. I wish I had 2 of those. I would make earrings out of those in a heartbeat. We've got some, what looks like just irregular gemstone chips. Not chips, but rounded, little irregular shaped. We've got like a brass bead here. Yeah. Some sort of metallic bead. Again, that looks like a glass stone. That looks like a gemstone. We've got some tiger eye here. That triangle is really cool. It's got some good wow. Good flash on that. We've got a white and blue bead, a carved elephant with the trunk up. Nice. We've got like a little, I don't know if it's not jade, but some sort of jasper, not jasper, quartz probably, I don't know. I really need to brush up on my gemstones. I need to get a gemstone book. If you know of any good gemstone books, just link me those books down below. I'd like to start studying them more. I don't know if that's rhodonite. I'm probably talking out my butt right now. I really don't know. But this is like some sort of clay. There's some I recognize, some I don't. I really need to get better at gemstones, but I kind of don't want to because they're expensive and beautiful. But there you go, there's the first one. Let's see, this one's a broken one. This one's interesting. Super long. My mom loves long necklaces. I'm talking like, I don't know, like belly button length. Oh, this is a 2-strand. This was actually, oh, this is really cool. Just zoom you out. This is really cool. So it looks, it's definitely handmade. How do you even do this? What type of cord is that? It's like, you see what I'm seeing here? It's like cord, but it was also wrapped in like, I'm just going to take some of it apart because we're going to have to redo it anyway. That is odd. If anyone knows this technique, let me know. This is like definitely a core set of threads, and then they had threads wrapped around it. That is odd. But there's some cool beads in here. This looks like wood. Yeah. This is a glass bead. It looks like recycled glass. It's really cool. Got some really light metallic beads here. Like a melon bead. It's not check though. Some sort of gemstone probably. Oh, this is like frit. I love this bead. Goodness. That is a really cool bead. It just looks like a white core that was rolled in frit. Little gemstone chip. Another little gemstone chip. We got a blue bead here. Oh, look at this. I'm not so certain that some of these aren't like legit expensive beads. You see this one? It almost looks like a Venetian, but this is like clear. This one, I don't know what type of gemstone that is. That looks really cool. Look at this bead. Again, there's some user's hair on there, so look away if you get a little squeamish about hair. That's pretty cool. That is definitely a unique find. Next one looks to be another handmade item. Jeez, she hit the jackpot here. I don't know if that's carnelian. I'm not quite sure, probably. And then some sort of faux turquoise, most likely. I don't know. Those are really cool. I mean, I really like the, it's a really simple, like too basic for me probably necklace, but I really love that color combo. Again, that kind of reminds me of, I swear that wasn't even planned, but it kind of reminds me of, you know, those color combos. I really like that. Those rich, deep colors. Let's see here. Oh, we had a casualty. It actually looks like the bead is still intact. It just fell off though. So this one looks to be check glass and a black bicone. This was handmade as well, looks like. $3. Some gunmetal. Man, you know what? Gunmetal, like, kind of legit because it doesn't really tarnish. It just stays gunmetal. That's interesting. That is crust. Okay, so that's, yeah. Definitely have to wash these beads, but that looks to be a graduated check fire polish strand with some black bicones. Honestly, that's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. Like, I don't really have any fancy places to go, but that's pretty cute. Yeah, I think that was well executed. Last but not least, look at this. This is like this is like the bead jackpot for me. These are definitely handmade, of course. This clasp is so, it's like a little scarab. Honestly, that looks, look at that thing. Aren't beads just the coolest? This is definitely like, I don't know, Venetian, I don't know. But these are the coolest, some of the coolest beads I've ever seen in my life. Up close and personal. I still have like lots of, like a bead bucket list full of things that I don't have, obviously. I don't even want to start getting into African glass because that's the type of bead that I just love the look of, and I feel like I will actually go broke if I go down that road, because I really want some like Ghana glass beads, but you know. So they have like little these are like football shapes, obviously irregular a little bit, but they're like handmade. Some really tiny bead caps that are like corroded all to hell. Let me zoom you in so you can really see these beads. But look at them. These are super special. Like, I don't even know what I would do. Like, I just want to hang these up so that I can just look at them. Does anyone feel that way? Like, I don't even want to do anything with them. Like, what do I do? Like, I can't just, like, make something with these and then, like, send it off. Like, I need to just hoard these beads. These are definitely some of the coolest beads I've ever seen. This was a super duper find. My mom is like legit when it comes to thrift store shopping, so those are so cool. All right, I'm gonna clear this off and I'll be right back. Okay, it's time for the bubbly. Sparkling water, obviously. I think the last thing I'll mention for this week's Bead N Brew is these rings. Some of you may have noticed these rings. I really want to start getting more into wire working. I need to get a few different types of wire though, and I want to get some thicker gauges, but I just made some of these rings. There's no soldering involved. It's just wire wrapping. And this one I really like. It's super comfortable. The rounded edges are super comfortable. These are a little sharp for me. Like, as you can see, the bicone itself is actually digging into my skin, which is not very comfortable. You can see a little wound action going on, so I'll probably take that off. But I love this color combo. That's like one of my favorite color greens, favorite shades, mixed with the copper tone. So, and you're just wrapping the pearls onto the ring there. But, yeah. Let me know if you guys do wire wrapping and metal smithing and all that stuff. I actually eventually want to get into soldering and stuff as well. So thank you for joining me this week for the first ever episode of Bead N Brew. If you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about next week, just let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you're staying safe and well. Happy New Year's, everybody. Bye-bye.